Everyone builds their end-of-the-world gun setup the wrong way. They run straight to the biggest, meanest rifle they can find. Then 6 weeks later, they're starving because they can't hunt quietly and they can't carry enough ammo to make it count. Today, we're counting down the only 10 guns worth owning when society stops functioning. And I'm telling you right now, my top 2 picks are gonna start arguments in the comments. Because here's the thing most gun channels won't say on camera. When things truly fall apart, the winner isn't the dude with the most firepower. It's the dude who can still keep his rifle fed. 6 months after the last gun shop is locked up for good. Ammo availability, parts commonality, mechanical simplicity. That's what keeps you alive, not spec sheets. Let's get into it. Number 10, Henry AR-7 Survival Rifle. This rifle was built for one very specific nightmare. An Air Force pilot gets shot down behind enemy lines. He's got nothing except what's on his body. Eugene Steyr, the same mind behind the AR-15, designed this as a pure survival tool. Henry Repeating Arms later took that concept, tightened up the reliability, and turned it into what you can actually buy today. Here's the party trick. The barrel, the receiver, and 2 8-round magazines. They all break down and stash inside the buttstock. That buttstock is waterproof, impact resistant, and once it's sealed up, it's sealed up. The whole package is 16.5 inches long. It weighs 3.5 pounds. And yeah, it floats. The gun floats. It's a semi-auto 22 long rifle with a basic blowback setup. Aluminum alloy receiver, steel barrel with a protective coating to fight corrosion. No complicated systems, no delicate parts. Now I'm going to be honest with you. The AR-7 isn't a tack driver. The sights are simple. Accuracy is fine, not impressive. But that's not the point. You're not buying a range day rifle. You're buying the gun that comes with you when everything else gets abandoned. Need to cross a river? It's in your pack. Have to ditch the vehicle? It's on your back. And at $300 to $350, it's the cheapest survival insurance anywhere on this list. Number 9, Steyr Scout in .308 Winchester. Jeff Cooper spent decades laying out what a scout rifle is supposed to be. Lightweight, quick in the hands, forward-mounted optic so you can run both eyes open. The Steyr Scout is probably the cleanest execution of that concept ever made. Bolt action, .308 Winchester, which is the same as 7.62 by 51 NATO. 19-inch cold hammer forged barrel, built-in bipod that folds into the forend, ghost ring backup sights that pop up if your glass gets wrecked, and a slick little detail. Dual magazine setup, one in the magwell, and a spare stored in the buttstock for a fast swap. This rifle shines for a solo operator. Accurate, easy to carry, enough horsepower for anything in North America. But here's why it sits at number 9. It's a bolt gun. When 3 problems show up at once, that manual action becomes a real handicap. And at $1,700 to $1,900, or pushing $2,100 with the full kit, you're paying premium dollars for a rifle that does one job incredibly well, but doesn't cover every situation. Number 8, SKS Chinese Type 56, the rifle that refuses to die. Sergei Simonov designed it during World War II as the Soviet semi-auto solution, right before the AK-47 showed up and stole the spotlight. China pumped out millions of the Type 56, and a whole lot of them ended up right here in the United States. Gas-operated, piston-driven, semi-auto, 7.62 by 39. What makes the SKS different is that fixed 10-round internal magazine. You load it from the top with stripper clips. You literally can't lose your magazine. As long as you've got loose rounds in your pocket, you can keep fighting. The bolt is a thick slab of steel, tilting lock design, and that gas system will chew through dirty, corrosive ammo like it's nothing. Most Type 56 rifles come with a folding spike bayonet that's permanently attached because somebody figured you might want a backup plan for your backup plan. It's heavy steel and hardwood construction. Not light, not pretty, but borderline indestructible. And accuracy? Better than people give it credit for. A decent SKS will outshoot an AK at 100 to 200 yards without even trying. Prices have tightened up, sure, but you can still find a Chinese Type 56 for $600 to $850. Around $700 usually gets you a solid shooter, one that's already survived longer than most folks. Number 7, Springfield M1A Scout Squad. Some lists put this at number 1. I don't agree. And here's why. The M1A is a gas-operated semi-auto using the M14's rotating bolt, basically the Garand's direct descendant. It's chambered in .308 Winchester, and the Scout Squad trims the barrel down to 18 inches for better handling. Forward optic rail for Scout-style glass. And honestly, possibly the best iron sights ever put on a battle rifle. Tool-free windage and elevation adjustments. A muzzle brake that actually takes the bite out of .308 recoil, and it runs 10 or 20 round detachable box magazines. On paper, this thing is a beast. It hits harder than an AK or an AR at basically every distance. It reaches past 500 yards. It punches through barriers that stop 5.56 cold. It can take an elk or stop a truck, but weight will wreck you in a survival situation. The M1A is heavy, steel and walnut, and you feel every ounce after marching all day. The M14 action is also more maintenance sensitive than an AR or AK. That operating rod and gas system want regular attention, and you might not see proper cleaning supplies for weeks. That's a real issue. It's an outstanding rifle, and it's priced like one, $1,700 to $2,100, with the Scout Squad usually around $1,850. But raw power doesn't automatically win in a scenario where you're also hauling water, food, and everything you own on your back. Number 6, Ruger GP 100 and 357 Magnum. Let's talk about what happens when the mechanical stuff that can fail actually fails. Springs break, magazine feed lips crack, extractors snap. In a long crisis, semi-auto parts will eventually betray you. A revolver avoids a lot of that. Ruger launched the GP 100 in 1985 to replace the Security 6, and they built it with one mission: make the toughest medium-frame revolver on Earth. Smith & Wesson tends to chase smooth triggers and refined finishes. Ruger went the other direction: full tank mode, solid steel frame with no side plate. That makes it structurally stronger than most revolvers you can name. It's engineered to digest unlimited full-power .357 Magnum, without the frame stretching, without timing going out. That's not hype. That's the design. Double action, usually a 4.2-inch or 6-inch barrel. The grip frame is basically a steel peg, so you can bolt on whatever grip size fits your hand. Modular, simple. Now here's the survival angle people overlook. The GP 100 shoots both .357 Magnum and .38 Special. 2 calibers, 1 cylinder. You get a dud round? Pull the trigger again. Next chamber rolls into place. No tap rack bang routine. No magazine to fumble when it's dark and you're smoked. New stainless models run $800 to $950. Used ones in good shape usually land around $650 to $700. And honestly, a used GP 100 probably has more service life left than most owners do. Number 5, Mossberg 590A1. Only shotgun on this list, and nothing else even got close. Here's why the 12 gauge is irreplaceable. Versatility. Birdshot for small game, buckshot for defense, slugs for deer-sized animals, or for stopping a vehicle. One platform, a dozen rolls, all based on what you load. The 590A1 is the only pump shotgun that passed the military's mil-spec 3443E test. That means 3,000 rounds of full-power buckshot without a single failure. The civilian Mossberg 500 saves money with plastic trigger guards and lighter parts. The 590A1 upgrades the whole system: heavy-walled barrel, metal trigger guard, metal safety, dual extractors, twin action bars to prevent binding, anti-jam elevator, and the magazine tube has a clean-out design. You unscrew the end cap. Run a brush straight through. No teardown required. Most versions hold 7+1 or 8+1. Some come with ghost ring sights. Some have a bayonet lug, which in a zombie apocalypse might actually matter for once. The power source on this shotgun is your arm. No gas system to foul. No recoil spring to wear out. Wipe it down with whatever oil you can scrounge. And it keeps running. 650 to 850 depending on configuration. The 7-shot security model usually lands around 700. That's military-tested hardware at a price most people can actually manage. If you don't own a serious fighting shotgun yet, fix that. Number 4. Glock 19 Gen 5, the most boring gun on this list, and that's exactly why it's in the top 5. The Glock 19 has been the measuring stick for duty pistols since the late 1980s. Special operations units, police departments, armed citizens worldwide. Everybody keeps coming back to it for one reason. It works. No drama, no surprises, no cute stories. Striker-fired polymer frame, 9mm, roughly 34 total parts. You can detail strip the whole pistol with one simple punch. The safe action system gives you 3 internal safeties. Without a manual thumb safety, you can forget under stress. Gen 5 added the marksman barrel for tighter groups, and it removed the finger grooves so more hands can get a clean grip. Now here's the true collapse argument. The Glock 19 is the most common handgun platform in the United States. In a breakdown scenario, every abandoned patrol car, every looted station, every cleaned-out gun store, Glock magazines and 9mm will be the most findable pistol resources out there. I'm not telling you to build a plan around scavenging. I'm telling you that when the supply chain is dead, commonality becomes king. It's not the most accurate pistol, not the prettiest, not the most fun range toy. It's the handgun version of a Toyota Camry. It starts every day, and you don't think about it. Standard models run $530 to $600. Optic-ready or night sight versions push closer to $650 to $700. What would you pay to never worry about your sidearm? That's what a Glock costs. Number 3. A K-47 Zastava ZPAP 70. If the AR-15 is a precision tool, the AK is a hammer that refuses to break. Mikhail Kalashnikov designed it for conscripts fighting in -40 conditions. The whole mindset was simple. If a kid with minimal training can run it in the worst environments on Earth, it'll run anywhere. The Zastava M70 out of Serbia is the gold standard for AKs in the American market right now. Thicker 1.5mm RPK-style receiver with a bulged trunnion. Cold hammer forged chrome-lined barrel. This isn't some random parts kit slapped together in a garage. It was built in a real military factory, to real military specs. Long stroke gas piston, 7.62 by 39, loose tolerances on purpose. Mud, sand, carbon buildup, none of it stops the action from cycling. The safety selector also acts like a dust cover for the internals. There's a bolt hold open notch on the safety lever. Side rail for mounting optics, about 8 pounds with wood furniture, which actually helps soak up that .30 caliber recoil. The AK's signature move is tolerance for neglect. Run it bone dry. Wipe it down with motor oil from an abandoned car. Feed it corrosive surplus all day. That chrome-lined barrel just shrugs. The AR-15 likes maintenance. The AK prefers to be ignored. 7.62 by 39 hits noticeably harder than 5.56 inside 200 yards. 30-round magazines give you real capacity, and this platform is the most widely produced rifle in human history. Parts and ammo exist on basically every continent. ZPAP 70 rifles run $950 to $1,100. Around $1,050 seems to be the going rate for a good one. That's real money for an AK. But this isn't bargain bin stuff. This is the real deal. Number 2, Ruger 1022. Takedown. Yeah, a 22 at number 2. Before you light me up in the comments, listen, in every apocalypse fantasy, people picture firefights and heroic last stands. Here's what's real. You're going to spend 95% of your time trying not to starve, and the Ruger 1022 is the single best food procurement tool ever made. Since 1964, it's been the most successful rimfire rifle in history. The takedown version separates the barrel from the receiver with a quick twist. It fits in basically any backpack. Blowback, semi-auto. Ruger's 10-round rotary magazine sits flush in the stock, and it's arguably the most reliable rimfire magazine ever built. Now here's the math that should rewire how you think about survival guns. You can carry 500 rounds of .22 long rifle in a cargo pocket. 500. That's 500 squirrels, 500 rabbits, 500 chances to feed your people. And .22 long rifle is quiet enough that you're not broadcasting your location to every threat within a mile. Try carrying 500 rounds of .308. Your spine just filed for divorce. .22 long rifle is also the most produced ammunition on Earth. It'll be the last caliber to vanish in any serious shortage. We watched that movie in 2020. 308 and 9mm disappeared, while .22 was still sitting on shelves in a lot of places. The 10-22 is easy to keep running. Parts are everywhere, and it's modular enough that basic field repairs don't need special tools. For true long-term survival, not combat fantasy, real survival. This rifle might matter more than everything else on this list combined. $450 to $550 for the standard Takedown. The backpacker model with Magpul furniture and stock magazine storage runs around $600. Tell me that's not the best value on this list. I dare you. And number 1, the AR-15, BCM, or Daniel Defense. This one was never really up for debate. Not in an American collapse scenario. Eugene Stoner's 1950s design took time to mature. Vietnam was rough, but the modern AR-15 from makers like Bravo Company Manufacturing and Daniel Defense. That's the most refined fighting rifle on the planet. And more importantly, it's America's rifle in the most literal sense possible. The AR-15 is the standardized platform across the U.S. military, most law enforcement, and the largest civilian rifle market in history. In a collapsed United States, AR-15 parts, AR-15 magazines, and 5.56 ammunition will be more available than anything else in the rifle world. That's not a hot take. That's math. There are more ARs in this country than any other centerfire rifle. Nothing else is close. Direct impingement or piston-driven, 5.56 by 45 NATO, 6 to 7 pounds. 2 pins separate upper from lower. Pop them out, swap uppers, and you just change caliber or barrel length in under a minute. Daniel Defense DDM4 models run cold hammer forged barrels. They use bolt carrier groups that are high pressure tested and magnetic particle inspected. That means they're checked at a microscopic level for flaws. The kind of flaws that can turn catastrophic when your life depends on the next round going off. 5.56 is light. Load 200 rounds on your kit, and you can still move. Recoil is soft enough that everyone in your group can shoot it well, and the aftermarket ecosystem is the biggest in the firearms industry. Lights, optics, lasers, slings, suppressors, whatever setup you need, somebody makes the part. Does the AK handle neglect better? Probably. Does the M1A hit harder at distance? Absolutely. But can you find replacement parts, magazines, and ammo for those platforms in every gun store, every police armory, and every National Guard depot from coast to coast? No. The AR-15 owns that advantage, completely, and in long-term survival, that one advantage outweighs everything else. Duty-grade AR-15 rifles run $1,500 to $2,200. A BCM complete upper on a quality lower gets you world-class reliability around $1,600. Daniel Defense full rifles usually land between $1,800 and $2,000. It's real money, but this is the one platform that keeps itself alive long after the supply chain is dead and gone. 10 guns is a lot. Most of us can't scoop up this whole list overnight. So if I could only grab 3 and walk out the door right now, AR-15 for defense, Ruger 10-22 for food, Glock 19, because a handgun is the gun you actually have on your body when it counts. But here's the truth that beats all 10 of these choices. Your most important survival tool weighs about 3 pounds, and it sits between your ears. Training beats gear every single time. A $400 rifle in trained hands will smoke a $2,000 rifle in untrained hands. And it's not even close. Drop your top 3 in the comments. I want to see what's actually going in your bug-out bag. Music. No judgment. I'm just curious. And if this is your first time here, hit subscribe. We've got more coming that'll help you spend smarter and train harder. See you in the next one.